Hi guys, so unfortunately we did not get to finish Ginny B. Jones, the Thanksgiving chapter book. So I am going to make a video for each chapter that we read. So you do not have to listen to all of it at once. It will just be one chapter per video. So we are on chapter 8, 3 squeezes. Okay, here we go, chapter 8. Mr. Scary checked the clock again. Okay, it's time for our last Thanksgiving item before lunch, he said. Surely Snossage Stories was so nice. I'm wondering if anyone else has an animal you're thankful for. Sheldon's hand shot up like a rocket. I do, Mr. Scary. I have 3 animals I am thankful for, and guess what? I got my picture taken with every single one of them. He quick leaned down to his thankful bag and he started searching through it. He stopped to glance up. And here's the part that you're really going to love, he said. All of the animals are Thanksgiving animals, Mr. Scary. All of them are turkeys. Mr. Scary looked happy at that news. Turkeys, he said. No kidding, Sheldon. That's great. I know it, said Sheldon. My Uncle Vern has turkeys at his house, and he took pictures of me with the 3 that I love the most. Mr. Scary smiled real big. This is perfect, Sheldon. I didn't even know that your Uncle Vern was a turkey farmer. Sheldon looked puzzled. He's not, he said. Uncle Vern and Aunt Bunny live out in the woods. He did a pause. They moved out there to get away from the law, he said. Mr. Scary cleared his throat, real nervous. Well, that's fine, Sheldon. But that story is really none of our business, he said. Well, I think it's our business, I shouted a loud voice. I think I should be arrested. All of our eyes turned to May. Her face looked shocked at us. Don't look at me. I didn't say that. It was him, she said. Then she quick pointed to Police Sergeant Chuck on Mr. Scary's desk. Mr. Scary rolled his eyes, very annoyed. He told May to button her lips. She started to sputter. But, Mr. Scary snapped his fingers at her. Then he turned back to Sheldon. Please forgive that interruption, Sheldon, he said. I really can't wait to see your turkey pictures. I've seen wild turkeys when I've been hiking, but I've never been close enough to get a picture. Really? said Sheldon. That's odd. It's easy to get my turkey's pictures at Uncle Vern's. He brings them right inside his camper. Mr. Scary's face went funny, but he didn't say any words. Then all of a sudden, Sheldon found the pictures he was looking for in his thankful bag, and his face lighted up. I found them! Here they are! The pictures of me and my 3 favorite turkeys at Uncle Vern's. Sorry. Hold on, I'll come over here. He took them out and put them in order. Number 1 is Gary Gobbles. Number 2 is Harry Gobbles. And number 3 is Larry Gobbles. He smiled real big at that one. Larry was from last year, he said. He is the turkey I love the most. He jumped up and held Larry's picture for all of us to see. Look, everyone, see him? See him, Larry? We leaned in closer. Then all of our faces went funny. Plus, Mr. Scary's face went funny again, too. Well, this isn't what we expected, Sheldon, he said. This isn't a picture of a wild turkey in the woods, is it? He did a hard swallow. This is a picture of a cooked turkey on your plate, and you're eating it. Sheldon nodded real happy. Yes, he said, I know. At Thanksgiving, we take pictures of the delicious turkeys we have loved and eaten, and this is Larry from last year. He looked curious at our teacher. Don't you take pictures of your Thanksgiving dinners, he asked. Mr. Scary thought for a minute. Well, yes. Now that I think about it, we do, Sheldon. We do take pictures of our Thanksgiving meals, he said. Sheldon smiled at Larry again. He said, look, see, Uncle Vern gave me the drumstick and our family, and it is an honor to get to the Thanksgiving drumstick. Sheldon stood up straight and tall, and the drumstick is what a king gets, he said, real proud. I thought about it. I've never gotten a drumstick, I said, real disappointed. Me either, said my friend Herbert. My mother says it gives me the drumstick, and I'll slap it on the tablecloth. Sheldon beamed. My Uncle Vern didn't care if I slopped it, he said. He just told me, enjoy it, Sheldon. Sheldon grinned real big. And here is something else I love about Thanksgiving at Uncle Vern. Ferns, he said. Before we eat, we all hold hands around the table, and we squeeze each other's hands 3 times. He joined his hands together, and he showed us how to squeeze. 1 squeeze, 2 squeezes, 3 squeezes, he said. 3 squeezes stand for 3 special words. He looked around the room. Can anyone guess what the 3 special words are? He asked. Room 1 thought and thought, but we could not come up with 3 special words. Finally, Mr. Scary put his hand on Sheldon's shoulder, and he smiled down at him. I love you, he said. Sheldon stood there for a second. Then he smiled, kind of shy. Well, I love you too, he said. But can you guess what words the 3 squeezes stand for? Mr. Scary stood there very frozen. He did not make any more guesses, and so finally Sheldon blurted it out. Happy Turkey Day, he said. The 3 squeezes stand for Happy Turkey Day. Happy Turkey Day. And so that's how come we always name the turkeys. Because they make our Thanksgiving Day happy and delicious, and we don't ever want to forget them. I thought that over in my head. Room 1 thought it over too. Then all at once we started to clap, because that is the nicest way to remember a turkey that we ever heard of. Sheldon looked at his Thanksgiving pictures again. Good old Larry from last year, he said, kind of quiet. Mr. Scary smiled. Then he walked up to the board and he picked up his chalk and he wrote it on the board. Number 11. Number 11. Good old Larry from last year. Room 1 clapped some more. Good old Sheldon Potts. Chapter 9. So you can listen to the next video for Chapter 9, Socks and Other Surprises.